Hi guys, welcome back to August Love Story, the channel. I'm Artieka.
And I'm Tommy.
And today we are reviewing, finally, the reunion part 2 of season 12 of Married at First Sight.
Last episode.
Can I say it again?
Go ahead, one more
finally.
time. One more time.
Finally, season 12 reunion part 2. We're done with this season.
Done with season 12.
Whew. All right, so I'm gonna start off by mentioning that I missed quite a bit of the beginning of the episode. Like I was in and out because I had a Zoom call at the exact same time that the episode started. So Tommy's gonna have to fill in some holes because I just refused to even go back and watch. So we came back with Paige in the car with Chris. And she told him that he did great. And I was like...
She told him that he was doing great up until...
Oh, it was doing great?
Yeah, you were doing great until this part.
It's like everything that we rehearsed. That was my Paige voice.
I'm tired of their interaction.
Praise God, it's over.
I am tired of, Paige... feeling like she has to be there for him. Mm-hmm. They always talk about protecting black people. Like
black women.
Black women needs to protect, black men need to protect black women. Mm-hmm. And black women are always protectors of black men, mm-hmm. Well, in my life. Mm-hmm. But in this instance, man, I just don't feel like Paige needs to protect him because he's made a bed that he must now lie in. Mm-hmm. Like the way he carried himself, she was like, oh, you were doing so good, so well. And even what Kevin told him before he left, like, don't let anybody else basically have that power over you to change your attitude and stuff like
Which
that.
Which is funny. It's like, we're going to make this real messy, but don't let it control you, though.
Right. But he makes every situation somehow about him. Mm-hmm. When honestly, truly, it's not about him. Mm-hmm. He was mad at Pastor Dwight because Pastor Dwight had reached out to Paige to talk to Paige. I get where he's coming from. Hey, man, just shoot me something. You my friend. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But the way you carry yourself, if you have a problem with somebody, a man usually would step up to another man and say, hey, man, I have a problem with the way you handle things that way, things in that manner. Can we not handle these? Can we handle this better? Or can we do better next time? But anyway, I digress. I don't really want to spend a lot of time with them. Paige's friend Nancy came out. Mm-hmm. Nancy basically said Paige is not okay. She had some choice words for Chris. They was not on the show. Like Paige's friends and family wasn't on the show because they were not as nice as Paige was. And so
it would have been on site.
It would have been on site.
They should have been on the show then.
And
that would have given me a good season.
I mean, like, I get it. You don't want to embarrass yourself like that. They don't, Nancy was saying that she don't really, like, she don't deal with Chris. Like, she's not on a good level with him.
And so she shouldn't be.
I get all of that part. And she was like, mental health is important.
Because she is a therapist, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I know that she recently did an interview with Kojo, and I watched the beginning and I need to finish it. He was like, ain't no tea here. We talking about mental health. And I was like, all right, I'm going to tune in for that because if anybody's mental health is at risk, it's people that have watched this season and participated in this season of Married at First Sight. And, Lord bless Paige.
And ultimately, man, we like pretty much she was saying that it was a bad match.
Right. And I think that we can all agree.
Yeah.
With that. So next up was Jacob and Haley. I missed a part of their going at each other. Jacob basically said Haley didn't like me. I felt like Kevin was not being a neutral person between the two of them. He was very much so defending Haley and holding Jacob to the fire. And I think that equally, they had a very big part in the demise of their relationship. And Jacob said that, you know, Haley would be really rude to him. And then when the production team came around, she just like snapped and turned into like this different person. And I can see that with Haley because Haley looks like the way she treats Jacob is with a mean girl spirit.
Yeah.
I do think that Jacob is a hard, what's the saying? Hard egg to crack. Is that the saying? He's a hard egg to crack. Like you got to get through all of the weirdness to find out who he truly is. And I don't think that Haley was willing to do that work. And Kevin did point out one thing that Haley's trying was having sex with him. And I was like, so that's the only time we tried was when we had sex with him? That further proves the point. Like, nobody's saying that you should have sex with a person because you're on Married at First Sight. That was a choice that she made. If I wasn't attracted to this guy, that's not a choice that I would have made. So I have no sympathy in that regard. Like, nobody forced you to do this. You did it on your own free will. If it was good, if it was bad, if it was indifferent, whatever, you chose to do it. But the ways that you treated him thereafter was all mean girl things. Like, they did show later on in the episode, they showed a clip, like a missing scene from the season of them like doing a fishbowl exercise and Haley needing to hold his hand to complete the rest of the exercise. Yeah. And she was like, you pushing it? And it's like, dude, like, it's holding his hand. When you get done, go wash your hands. Yeah. If it's that repulsive, it's just, I don't think anybody could change my mind about Haley and her lack of trying.
And I'm not going to try.
Thank you.
But I will have to say that, and everybody, and on Sundays, they get on me for being so harsh on the guys. But I do have to say, Jacob, I feel like Jacob could have at least come out with a friend in this situation, just because I don't know where Haley tried. But in most instances, in most relationships, the man is the one that's having to initiate things. The woman is not coming up saying, hey, let's go out here. I'm going to take you out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. The man usually is doing things like that. It's not until you get married where you want the woman to start thinking of things like that. I honestly don't know why, but it just happens. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna argue with this one. I'm gonna just let you have it. I'm happens. Disagreeing, but I'm gonna let you have it. I'm saying though,
it happens. You know, like most of the time, a man is gonna walk up to a woman and try to woo her in whatever type of way that he can. And I mean, like, I just feel like Jacob got into his head. She doesn't like me, so I'm just finna bide my time so I don't get fined. You know, and I feel like partially where Haley didn't try was partially because Jacob didn't try. And then one part was brought up that Jacob would make up these stories, would assume how Haley's gonna feel about it, right or wrong or indifferent. He made the story up. Like, it was when she went to go sleep with stay with Paige tonight. That whole scene right there, he made the conversation up. Like, he had the conversation in his head and then said, this is, you know, and then got mad at Haley.
Well, he said that it would have been different if he had done the same thing. And honestly, based on the actions that she has given us on screen, I do think that it would have been different. I don't think he was far-fetched in believing that. Maybe scene for scene, what he thought was going to happen wasn't what happened or what would have happened. But the reaction that Haley has given for different things that have happened can't make me believe that Jacob was too far off in his belief.
But I will say this, a closed mouth won't get fed. I've believed that since I was in the 11th grade, filling out scholarships to get into college. My cousin Carlos told me that, and that has stuck with me since I was a 16-year-old. So, closed mouth won't get fed. So you can't assume what somebody's going to do or not going to do until you ask them. Like, it's so many opportunities that Jacob had to go have fun himself. Like, okay, I understand you don't like the 80s, but let's go see Back to the Future. You know, let's go watch an 80s movie.
She was like, what's that?
Only thing she can say is no, but I tried. You know, let's go do this. Let's go do that. When the experts come there, like, this is all I did. And stop bringing up the fact that she doesn't like you. So who cares? Y'all are in this thing together anyway.
Well, I'll say this, and I was going to get to it later on when the experts part came up, but it's funny because it's okay for the experts to say Haley didn't really like Jacob, but it's not okay for Jacob to say Haley didn't like me. Why is that?
It's for me, it wasn't okay. It was okay for him to say it, but it wasn't okay for him to dwell on it. I felt like Jacob dwelled on that, and that drove him in the direction of, at this point, them not even being cordial with each other. Because even at the beginning, Kevin was like, Jacob, you're not going to tell her she looks nice or anything? He was like, no.
I didn't see that part.
Yeah.
I mean, I missed that part of the interaction.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay, maybe Jacob is like me in that regard.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm done with you, you die.
Yeah, maybe.
So
maybe.
I just be done with it.
Yeah. But anyway.
So next thing we got to was Bracelet Gate. Again, the bracelet thing was totally unresolved.
I understood where Jacob came from.
No, I completely understood. But I'm saying, like, they're never going to get on the same page.
No.
Is what I mean by unresolved.
Because Haley's looking at it like it was a gift, and Jacob's looking like I gave you a gift. Why does your mom have it?
Exactly.
You know.
And I mean, it would be the exact same thing. Like, if you took something bigger and say, I bought you a car, you wouldn't give it to your mom and leave it at her house. Even if you weren't going to drive it, it would be in your possession. Right. So, I mean, I completely get Jacob in it.
Most people, if most people would keep the stuff that people give them as gifts, especially if, you know, for the next 8 weeks, I got to be in this room with this person. So, like, I get it with that part. And he was like, yeah, I returned it.
I'm happy he got his money back. I'm happy he got his money back.
Yeah. Which
most jewelry stores give a 60 to 90 day return policy. So at the 8-week mark, he was still well within his right.
Yeah, I'm glad he got his money back.
So I'm happy
too,
he got
man.
his $800 back. Wasn't that how much he said he spent on it?
Yeah, $800. That ain't no cheap.
Not at all.
I'm just saying that ain't what I would have bought as a gift for a stranger.
No comment to you and your gift giving.
I think I give better gifts now than I did when we first started.
You do. You had to learn.
And be adamant too.
You had to learn it. You're much better at it. I'll give you that. So, done with Eagles versus Dragon, we get to what I call the circle of bros.
That's funny.
Chris was obviously absent. The guys said that they talk every day via group chat. They're like, the girls like to see each other and hang out, but the guys are like, no, we talk every day. Yeah. And I was like, this is what I was getting at. I want to say last week's was like, the girls always are like, nobody else has ever been through this. And I'm like, girl, it's been 12 other seasons. 11 other seasons other than you. Somebody else has done this. Yeah. Nobody has done it at the exact same time.
Right.
And then I'm not sure when they started, like what season they started doing everything together, like going on the honeymoons together and stuff where the couples do more interacting. But that created a different sense of sister and brotherhood that I think can't be easily broken.
Because they didn't do that. Like in the beginning season, I don't remember which season it was, the first season that they actually all came together, but they used to go on separate.
Yeah, the earliest season that I remember watching was like 4. And I think that the season with Crazy Brandon was the first season that I ever paid attention to the
fact
that they were together and they did the retreat and all that stuff. Not to say that it didn't happen before them. I'm sure somebody's gonna correct me in the comments. So in the circle of bros, they asked Vincent to describe everybody. He said Eric was the mellow guy, Ryan is the hype man, and Jake is the funny guy. And I was like, where's this hype Ryan? Because I've never seen him on camera.
I can see that. I can see him.
I can see him having a weird sense of humor and trying to be funny, but like the hype man of the crew. I guess if you look at the personalities, it has to be default either him or Vincent.
Yeah.
Jake is the funny guy, and
they don't fool with Chris.
Vincent did say something like, I've noticed that Vincent, when asked questions that involve Chris, he tries to play both sides. Like, I'm not gonna completely throw Chris under the bus, but I'm gonna tell you what I wouldn't do. Yeah. And he essentially said that, you know, I get why Chris isn't here, but if it were me and my life had played out that way on TV, I would be here to defend myself. Yeah. And I'm like, yes, any sane, logical person who had a crazy season like Chris did would get on television and defend themselves at the ending, because we would be able to say, that's not me. That's not a representative of my character. This was just crazy out of body experiences or whatever. But
we know that's character. I was going to say, we know that's Chris' character because he did it
multiple times
at the reunion.
And it's in Paige's character to go run after and save. Which she needs to stop doing. So we then ran into these random packages on the different couples. For Jacob and Haley, I can't remember what they talked about. Claire and Ryan talked about moving in and them having like a top 5 thing, and they did it. What did he say? Lottery style or something like that? Yeah, it was like a
draft.
Yeah, it was a draft, and that's how they figured out like the important things. And both Eric and Ryan both said that they were in 2-bedroom places and that their wives have now taken over the 2nd bedroom. And I was like, yeah, y'all gonna have, like, maybe not so much Clara and Ryan, but Eric and Virginia, if they're still together, are going to need more space, because I could not imagine having, what do they have? 2 cats, 2 dogs, and 2 humans? In a 2-bedroom condo.
They got a lot.
That's just way too much in there, like in that space. So I think that they would be candidates for moving before like Virginia and Clara and Ryan. Eric and Virginia, they said Virginia's not going out as much. Then they ran this package on Chris calling Virginia a drunkard. And I was like, Virginia handled this so much better than Artieka would have. Virginia and Eric handled this so much differently than Artieka and Tommy would have. But I don't think that Chris would have come at you in the way that he did Eric, or me in the way that he did Virginia. Granted, I don't drink like that, so.
I don't think so either. I think he's a kind of like an inferiority complex when it came to Eric. Like, I'm better than them, you know, type of thing when it comes to them, and just they didn't give him the respect that he thought that he deserved. Talking about Virginia
and
Clara, but he also did not return that respect.
Right, he didn't give them anything to respect.
Yeah, and so when their concern being Paige, which is real, their concern is actually genuine, as we can tell that how they are now. I feel like Eric was in the right to stand up for his wife and everything like that.
Oh, no, absolutely. Defend me.
Yeah, if it was us, it would have definitely went a step further. Like, because first off, you're not going to yell at me. And then secondly, you're definitely not going to yell at my wife. If you need
with or without you there.
Right. Don't let me not be there and that happen. Oh, we have a problem. And it's on site. I'm going to address it when I see you.
Mm-hmm. I will say you're a man of your word with that. So after the package on Chris and Virginia and the drinking, we got the opinions of Ryan and we saw the apology from Ryan and Clara and all of that. And then we got to see a cute, sweet moment with Vincent when he went outside and made
that was funny.
Brianna a s'more. And then like ran upstairs while the girls were filming and gave her s'more and then gave a weird little wave by. And I was like, that's the things that Brianna was saying. He's the man that I needed. Mm-hmm. Like he does sweet things like that. And he really takes like to heart the fact that, you know, they're married and he's trying to like woo her and romance her and be sweet and thoughtful. So like that's the part of it, even though we didn't see that in the show, like those are the things that you can see when she smiles at him, like he's done things like that for her. So I'm happy that they have survived him and his anxiety about being on TV. And aren't they on Couple Scan?
I think so, yeah.
Let's hope that there's no breakdown with Couple Scan. Last up was the experts all getting together and talking about the couples. Basically, they said that the happiest couples liked each other from the beginning, and their biggest regret of the season was, you guessed it,
Chris. Yep. They were definitely fooled by Chris's antics.
Yeah. I wonder if Chris's antics would have been that bad had Mercedes not been pregnant.
I think so. I still think he was looking for her out.
Oh no, absolutely looking for it out.
And I think it would have been just as bad.
Do you think that it would have been an honest, hey, I just don't like you? Or would he have drug it along like he did? He would have drug it along like he did because he was getting something out of it. The butts.
Yeah. Like at the end of the day, he was, you know, getting his rocks off. So, I mean, if you can guarantee that, it's sad to say, but you know. Look, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. Every man has one they ain't proud of. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep it 100. 100.
So during the experts thing, they talked about the different couples. I don't remember what they said about Brianna and Vincent outside of they were just really happy.
They just said they was a really good couple and they was really happy with the match with them two.
Haley and Jacob, they said that Dr. Pepper said she's cold. And I was like, thank you, Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper did say she was cold.
She said it multiple times during that package. Pastor Cal said people have to change to be successful in a relationship, and Haley wasn't willing to change. And I was like, thank you, guys.
He also said Jacob needed to, if Jacob would have came with some swag, aka game.
You can't make him be what he's not.
But it's not even that you have to have game. It's just try to be a friend to this person. Like, you had an opportunity because they brought up the couple off the first, Jamie Otis and Doug. Yeah. Her husband. And how she basically had to be convinced by him that they were a good match. Mm-hmm. Jacob's whole thing was, she doesn't like me. I don't want to be here because she doesn't like me and she's so cold to me. Like, man, I get it from his end, but
I guess I'm looking at it from a dating standpoint. And I mean, obviously this is marriage, but you only got so many times to shun me before it's middle fingers up.
Well, I mean, like,
put it in his face, tell him, boy, bye.
I mean, like, you have to look at it because we have to go through things like resetting. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to notice that we're not doing certain things, or we're getting stagnant in certain areas. Hey, let's reset. Let's visit this. Let's talk about this. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to start getting creative. Like, our first date was on, like, we went mini golfing because I had free tokens. I didn't know if you like mini golfing or not.
We haven't played mini golf since. Oh, yes, we did. In the Bahamas.
In the Bahamas, we did. But, like, other than that, like, I had to get creative, like going to have a picnic. That was something you said do. Okay, let's go have a picnic. Stuff like that. It's like, don't do things because they told you, hey, go out and do this. Do things because you're actually genuine, because that's what she wanted. You know, when they went race car driving and stuff like that, just keep it cordial. Because at the end of the day, you've decided, and this Jacob now, at the end of the day, you've already decided that you don't want to be with her. Okay, cool. Just be friends. It's okay to just be friends because you don't have to like your friend in a sexual or a romantic type of way.
You don't have to like your spouse either.
Apparently, according to them. But I mean, like, it's just, I don't feel like Jacob gave it. Every time Jacob tried, he shot himself in the foot. And those shots in the foot helped with Haley not wanting to move any further. And so that helped Jacob not wanting to move any further. So I just feel like the effort could have been a lot more on both sides. So
last three things that I wrote was Claire and Ryan needed to have a plan to overcome their lack of sex. Dr. Viviana basically said that we're not encouraging you to have sex by any means, but if y'all not on the same page about it, you need to have a plan. Well, I think Pastor Cal said you need to have the plan to overcome it. Yeah. Which hopefully they've overcome it because they've overcome the love obstacle. We're still in the gray about.
I think they had sex.
Sex, but
I think they did it.
I mean, they probably did, but he was very weird, like, about sex, even with the whole, are you a virgin? And he was like, no, hi, mom.
I mean, he just don't want to talk about it. That's one of those things he really didn't want to talk about. Yeah, but the first thing that I
mentioned would not be my mom.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah.
So last thing that I wrote down was that they ran a package about Ryan, and I for sure thought that it was going to be about for sure.
Right.
And it was about That's My Jam. I didn't realize how much he said that.
I didn't either. I didn't even know he said that. Like, I didn't pay it any mind. But
I think I heard him say it maybe once or twice out of that full package.
Yeah.
But for sure, they could have ran like 100 different clips.
And he got Clara saying for sure. He got me saying for sure.
Not just Virginia, Eric, right. Like everybody was saying for sure. Except for Chris.
Except for Chris. No, that was when like all the everybody came out to talk to each other. The couples, not the experts. And they did that and talked about that. Like some of the people from the old shows asked the current couples questions and stuff like that. I think it's really cool because they ask some really good questions.
The other couples are, I mean, granted, they had to have been invested in the show to even sign up for the show to know what it was. But I like that the other couples are invested in the show, and it was more so the couples. I think for the most part, every couple that is still together, it sans like maybe 3.
Yeah.
Are doing couples cam. So like it was the couples cam couples, of course, that were asking questions. The basic Caucasian sex question, like, girl, just let that go.
Yeah. That's her claim to fame, man.
Right. I enjoy seeing Christine and Keith. Like, I wish that they got pushed to the forefront as much as, you know, like Woody and Amani do. Because I really did enjoy watching them on the show. Like, they were 2 people that seemed to be very open to how this process is going to work from day one. Like, they were never like hesitant, like your boy Jeffy and Shanice. Well, Jeffy more so than Shanice.
And that's who got me watching this show.
I know, that's why I said your boy. But yeah, it was really fun to watch them. And then also when they did their last words about the season, I can't remember which person it was. I think it was Brianna, maybe. But one of them basically said that, you know, no, it was Virginia said that we need to be nice to people. Those of us that are reviewing the shows and talking.
That was Claire.
That was Claire?
Claire said
it
that.
It was Claire that said that. Said we need to be nice to people. And
if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say anything.
I'm going to just say it's sucks for you. Like at this point, like you guys went on TV to find love, and we watched the show to find entertainment. And if we weren't entertained and talking about it, nobody would have watched the show. It would have been canceled already, and you would not have gone on there to find love.
Yeah.
So it's one of those.
It's a catch-22.
Catch-22.
Sure.
It's one of those things that you just have to deal with because it comes along with being on TV. But that's just like things that come along with commenting on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
You put a certain part of your life out there and people find parts of that to dig into. We do the same thing to you guys on TV. So, as Tommy says, to catch-22, we all move on. At some point, we just...
Yeah.
Stop talking about you, because I don't really talk about the other couples too much anymore after their seasons are done.
Nope.
So hopefully July 20...
Only the ones that we like, we mentioned.
Yeah, July 20 something or another. Nobody will be talking about Claire and Ryan ever again because it'll be a new season with a new cast, and it'll be a new group of people that we're talking about. Mm-hmm. Unless you do couple scam. Yeah. And then that's your fault.
And you chose to do that. What's your final thoughts on this season? God.
I am so happy that it's over. I am happy that there were the 3 couples that stayed together through Decision Day and beyond. I always hope, like, you love, and I'm just like, I don't like to see people break up.
Yeah.
It's not that I love. It's just like I want people to be happily together. So I'm hoping that those 3 couples are able to happily be together. I hope that Haley, Jacob, and Paige can figure it out and find their person. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it wasn't through this TV show. Maybe there'll be some guy or some girl on Unmatchables that'll be for them. Like that should have been who you were matched with.
Yeah.
Or like this show will open up your dating pool.
Yeah.
Hopefully though, for Paige, it is not another Chris type.
Yeah. My thoughts on this season is I still enjoy the show. I like you said, I love and all those good things, and the idea that you marrying a stranger to this with this arranged marriage is all radical to me. So it's kind of cool. I do feel like Chris and Paige ruined the show, and like their part took away from the genuineness. I don't know if that's a word. Is it? Mm-hmm. But the genuineness of Married at First Sight. Mm-hmm. I appreciate the experts and their opinions and how they're doing things. I did question some stuff for this season with Chris and Paige, like why was he on here? But you know, I
question why the baby mama was on here.
Man,
from the time she set foot on here and every time that it was brought back up, I was like, why did you come here?
Right, exactly. But overall, man, I think it was a solid season outside of Chris and Paige. But I think Jacob and Haley gave us what we needed from Chris and Paige. Mm-hmm. You know,
the agree to disagree.
Yeah, type deal. You know, I look forward to Houston.
Me too.
That's where they are.
H-Town, stay down.
And hopefully everybody was truthful enough to actually go through this, and we can have a normal season of Married at First Sight coming up in July. So,
you know, sidebar, still about Married at First Sight. I hope that they go to some lesser known places. Like, because this is the second time in Atlanta. They're going back to Boston again. Mm-hmm. There's another city that they've done twice as well, and I can't remember which one it is off the top of my head. But I would like for them to go to somewhere that's not like a super major metropolitan area. Like, this is gonna be like crazy. But like,
go to Nashville.
Yeah, somewhere like Nashville or Memphis.
Go to Memphis.
Married at First Sight goes to Memphis. I'm definitely gonna tune in because it's gonna be some foolishness.
Man.
But even like other places like that, and if they do go back to some of the cities that they went to the first time around. Mm-hmm. Switching things up how they do it. Of course, like now they go on their honeymoons together. They get everybody to meet up together. Like, I guess that's a different aspect of it. But definitely, I think that would be interesting. At some point, I also want to watch this Unmatchables just to see. Yeah. I know you watched a couple of episodes, but to see how it all goes and see if there was something that we missed that should have been in this season. Mm-hmm. Instead of 2 of the singles that we got that got married.
Nah, I feel you.
But that's it. You got anything else?
No, that's it.
No famous last words? All right. Well, thanks you guys for sticking with us through this entire season. It has been a lot. And I guess for Married at First Sight, we'll see you guys in July. Maybe August, depending on if we do the first episode or not. Other than that, we're doing Ready to Love now.
Yeah.
Our podcast, we didn't do an episode this week, but that's because I have family in town. So it's kind of difficult to schedule that. And what else are we doing?
I think
put a ring on it in June. So yeah, we got a lot of things that we're working on. And hopefully we have another series, not a TV show, but something that we're personally working on to come out maybe late June, early July.
Yeah.
Let us pray.
We may start vlogging. That should be
probably not.
Maybe. I said maybe. So it's like we're thinking of a bunch of stuff to start doing. So just stay tuned, kick it with us, hang out with us. We love you guys. We love your feedback and comments and everything, man. It's like we're having a lot of fun here. So, yeah, the season's over. Yes, yay. Thank you. But
do Lily's fingers,
right? But also make sure you guys have subscribed to our channel. Just to know what we do have coming out. Mm-hmm. Hit the notification bell. Like this video. Make sure to like this video so it shows up in the YouTube world.
The algorithm.
And if you can, share it out to somebody else that's watching it. Or
share the whole playlist, because now that the season is over, they can just binge watch everything.
Yeah, they can just watch it and know what happened this season. So, yeah, thanks for your support.
It means a lot.
It definitely means a lot to us. And yeah, that's all I got.
Thank you for ending this. You did such a great job.
Did it?
You did.
Oh, thanks, babe.
All right, guys. See y'all.
Peace.
Bye.